Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It helps us more than you could imagine.
Where are you from?
Well,
All over the
I
globe.
was born in London, and then I moved to Vietnam
Right.
for like 7 years, and then from there to Russia
Really?
for like a year, then
Nice.
Egypt for like 4 years, then Scotland, finished school in Scotland, then moved down here. I lived here for like 7 or 8 years now.
So you've been around.
Yeah, no, but it was sick.
You
I loved
enjoyed it all?
Oh, mate, it was class. Living abroad was sick. But I remember, like, because my dad would obviously every few years he'd have to come into my room and sort of break me the news that I was having to leave my school and all my mates. And like sometimes, like in Russia, I've only been there a year and I've just started making friends. And he comes in, he goes, we're moving again. And I'm there like, you're taking the piss. You know, I've locked him out my room. I'm in there crying. I'm like 10, 11 years old. I don't want to move. But the thing was, like, every time once I'd moved after like 2 or 3 weeks of being in the new place, I was like, yeah, this place is sick.
Keep in touch on BBM though, right?
No, it was MSN back then, you know.
MSN. Do you ever use MSN?
Yeah.
It was
Back
a
in the
classic.
I didn't have BBM.
No,
Yeah.
I never had
Didn't like-
BBM.
Didn't like the little keyboards on the Blackberries. Yeah, I didn't like that.
I was a Samsung. You know, do you remember the slide up Samsung?
I had a
phone?
Samsung.
Yeah.
I did that Samsung. Yeah.
Or the Motorola Razr, the flip.
Yeah, they were
But,
sick.
but the people that had those, they were like breaded.
I think
Yeah.
they relaunched them like not long ago.
I saw that.
Big marketing campaign. It was fucking weird.
I saw that. Yeah, and
I feel
and
like
now,
it did not take off though.
Have you seen the latest one? They've recreated like the Motorola like Razr in the sense that it's the flip, but the screen is one, so you're just like folding a screen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Nah, I haven't seen that though.
It's a folding phone, but the screen folds as well.
Technology, man.
Not seen
Bro,
it.
they're doing a madness. Razr are trying to make a comeback.
It's all about them Nokias back in the day. Do you remember the Nokias?
The
Unbreakable.
Oh my
Snake
god.
Put that shit in a
Yes.
washing machine.
Mate,
It's coming out even
you,
better.
you could do. I remember seeing tests like people would do the craziest stuff, like pinging them at walls, like taking baseball bats to it. That thing could survive a nuclear attack, mate. It was unbelievable. But yeah, other than that, well, I mean, I feel like everyone's got iPhones now, and if you have an Android, like you're just getting bantered in the group chat. Anyway,
You're not an
so.
Android, are you?
They're the weirdest things.
Oh, thank
The
God.
Android.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put anyone here rocking an
I
Android.
actually had
No,
an
we're good,
Android
we're good.
for about a year because I had a brand deal.
Yeah.
And they gave me the phone, and I was like, I'll just use it. I only had to use it for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I actually used it, and I was like, fuck, you know what? It's a fucking decent phone, this.
See, this is the thing. People that have them say they're
Long-
better than iPhones.
Yeah,
No,
it's
but they're
just
so alien to
switching-
someone who's
yeah, switching over.
yeah.
So since I had to use it for a bit, I was like, I'll get used to this a bit.
Yeah.
Actually turned out really decent. The only thing is, Instagram and Android don't work well properly. So the Instagram stories.
Bro, they look like it was.
Have you seen them?
6
Have you,
pixels.
have you seen how bad they look?
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
It's
It looks
awful.
like it's like it was filmed with a toaster
People always
every
say,
time.
but the Android camera is really good, but it's the fact that the app doesn't work with the camera properly.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
there are emojis as well.
Yeah,
Have you seen the
the
emojis they
emojis.
use? They're tragic.
Stinkers.
So
Yeah.
tragic. But yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, moving around school. But the biggest problem I had, with moving around with school, to bring it back to like a bit of a fashion thing, right? Is every country I went to, like a different thing was cool to wear. Because I would go from like
That's
an
a-
international
that's a
based
good
school
point.
to an American school to a British school. So I would wear like my American clothes and come to like a British school.
Where
and I would
in
just get
America?
bantered.
Did you?
No, I went to, so they would have American schools
Right.
in these
Ah,
countries.
right, okay.
So in Russia, I went to an American school there.
speaking, or
Yeah.
what? Right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
What so was it all like American kids?
yeah, it was mainly like military kids there.
Shit.
So
And they were speaking English.
yeah, they were speaking English, and there would be
crazy,
some
innit?
Russian kids that would go there. Like some of their family would want like their
That
kids to
is-
go to those
that is
schools.
So you
That's
were going to
wild.
a school with American vibes and American
Yeah.
speaking kids
Yeah,
in Russia.
it was
how,
like
how old were you when you were doing that?
Well,
Russia?
I moved to Vietnam when I was 3, and then left Vietnam when I was 9, I think. And then when I went to like the American school in Russia, I would have been like 11.
Wow.
11,
Okay.
12. So, but it was just really weird
When
because
did
what
you
I
move
thought
to
would be
London
cool
again?
there, and then I went to Egypt, and you go to like a British school or whatever, and then it's just the people are like, "What are you wearing?" And I'm there like, "This was cool." Like 2 weeks ago when I was in Russia.
You know,
But-
now you've said that though. Besides the UK, what would you say like is the biggest market for the brand? Is it
US
maybe
and
US?
Germany. Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah. Both online with the UK, really.
That's interesting.
Really?
How do you think it took off over there? What was it?
I think me and Mike are massively inspired by American stuff.
Yeah.
We grew up like skating, long hair, skinny jeans, Vans.
Wait, you
Whereas-
used to have long hair?
Yeah, dude, like down
Oh,
past
sick.
shoulders.
That's
like,
funny
we were
because I
listen-
wrote a question down. I was going to ask you, didn't I? I said to you, Cal,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to ask him if you skates because
Yeah.
you did speak about having skating
yeah, dude,
inspiration back in the day.
everything. BMXing, rollerblading. We were like, we wanted that like California life as kids. Like that's how we saw ourselves. We were so different to everyone in our schools because like where we grew up, it was like tracksuits and skinheads
Yeah.
and like
Not much has
weird
changed.
donk music and stuff. And we were
Yeah.
into like rock and roll and
Yeah.
we were just an outcast. But that's where our inspirations come from. And that's like when I was starting the brand, I was looking at people like Nicky Diamonds from Diamond Supply and like the brands like Huff and all that kind of skate scene that was like really booming back then, that streetwear scene.
Yeah.
So, and they were all American. So we was like, oh, let's be the English version of this. And yet let's use British like eras as our inspiration and become what they are.
Yeah.
So you know when you first started the brand, the very first week really started kicking off. How did you go about doing your very first represent drop? Like, what was that? How many pieces was it? What was it?
It's 25 t-shirts.
Yeah,
And they were
Jeez.
printed
Chip
on-
probably got one.
I wish I did. Be
It was
collectible.
yeah, it cost me, I think it was £150. It was a printing company in they were in South Wales, and basically they were doing merch, like because there was like a bit of a merch boom at that time, like 2011
For bands and like
Yeah,
artists and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brands were just printing the logos and stuff and selling it everywhere, like on tour, obviously.
50 quid a
like,
tour.
like they still do now, but it was just a big thing in like streetwear then.
Yeah.
So we just went to one of them print houses and just said, will you put this logo on a t-shirt? And like, it was horrible. Like the print came under your armpit and stuff. It was that big. And then we set up a big cartel. That was like,
Yeah,
Big
I
Castle.
remember
that was like the
them,
original Shopify.
Yeah.
Set that up, put them on, and then
You could get on
probably
like,
sold all of them to my friends and not on Big Cartel, but
Did
No,
did
it's
you
not.
back then? There was like a home page, and it was like if your store managed to get onto that home page, like it would start
People would
banging.
see it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Didn't know about
They
that.
had like
Yeah.
a ranking list of like,
That's
top
it.
brands, and if you got on there, then you were flying.
I'm pretty sure that's how Hype were
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same,
yeah.
right?
They were always number one in
They were
that.
all, and
Yeah.
that is like that's how I first heard of them.
That's interesting. It's
at
like
the
a
time.
leaderboard.
Yeah,
for
because
brands.
that's how I
That's
was
how-
gonna do my very
about
first
that.
merch. Was through that, and so I did loads of research into Big Cartel and just having a little look through it, and then I kept coming across this Hype. I was always number one. It just wasn't moving, and I was there like, what is going on with this?
Wait, is Big Cartel still a thing, or did that become Shopify?
No, it's still a thing.
Oh, it's its own thing.
Got
It
eaten
just
up by
Shopify is just a monster now,
Yeah.
really.
That's what everyone uses, right?
So how have you? So you started off doing like 25 pieces,
Yeah,
and it was like
then
UK
50.
based, and then So did you just take whatever that money was, reinvest it, and then it just almost like a bit of like an exponential growth?
we
from
just
there?
we just set up a PayPal account
Yeah.
and just left it and just kept putting it back in and putting it
Yeah.
back in, and then like I said, when my brother came in after university, after like I've been doing it for 3 years, then like we set it up as an actual business.
Okay. Cool.
Turned it into like a real limited company.
Wait, so your brother didn't come in until after 3 years? Or?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
was around. He was doing all the graphics, but like we set it up after 3 years.
Yeah.
Like we went to my dad. My dad took me to his accountants, and he was like, "All right, these lads have made a bit of money. They need to like set up as a limited company. What's the best way?" And I sat in this guy's house for like 8 hours, just fucking wanting to pull my hair out. And at the end, he was like, "If you've not got X amount in your bank account, you should probably quit with the amount of time you've been putting in." And I was sat there thinking, "What the fuck?" Anyway, we had way more than what he expected, which was good.
Okay.
So we're like,
Yeah.
we're flying, let's go.
Yeah.
That was the start of it. I have to remember that.
Yeah.
When you get the limited company first set up, that's when you know like things are
You think you're like got a
rolling,
real
things are-
business.
things-
Yeah.
things are
Shit got
kicking in.
serious.
It's a little
It's
bit,
nothing.
a little bit of a good feeling inside. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I got my own limited company from this
But
little side hustle.
and
and stuff.
anybody could like tomorrow. You could just go make a limited company like for a tenner. Or
Yeah,
whatever the
true.
fee is,
But when
yeah.
you are doing it at the same time,
when
as something
you're a
you
kid,
love,
dude, and
Yeah.
So how old were you? Uni? You would have been what, like 20 around there?
21, I think. Yeah,
21, yeah.
I think you're the school year above me and Cal. But you're 94, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
you're
I graduated.
93.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, literally.